So anyway, so a guy came up to me and he said, "Did you hear?" And I said, "Hear what?" And I turned my phone off. I'm signing. I can turn it over and I can see if I have a message, but it's not on vibrate. It's not on any. And Tamara had already reached out to me. And he said, "Did you hear that they tried to assassinate?" The guy said they took a shot at Trump. And I always read on the internet where people say, you hate Trump. And this is one of the things we'll go into today, of how they know me so fucking, and how I feel internally, and how my brain functions better than myself, because, you know, they're the all-knowing. And the first thing out of my mouth was, "He's okay, right?" That was the first thing out of my, I said, "He's okay, right?" And they're like, "Yeah, he got hit in the ear." And I'm like, "He got hit in the ear?" And I'm thinking, he got hit in the ear.
Were you thinking a punch when he said they took a shot at him, or you knew that he meant gunfire? Okay.
I knew the guy said, so I'm like, holy fuck. So I pick up my phone, and Tamara says they took a shot at Trump. So she put, they tried to assassinate Trump in Pennsylvania. And I thought, wow, Pennsylvania. It's a fucking purple state, but I'm just thinking, I look at it and I see him get down, and the coverage stopped because the coverage stopped on the thing I watched because the Secret Service stayed on top of him so it didn't get to the point. I didn't get the beauty shot or anything else. I finished what I was doing, and now I've got to walk 100 yards from this arena to get to my room. And I'm like, fuck, man, I can't wait to just sit down and fucking dissect this. So now I'm 3 hours difference. So I finished signing maybe at 5:30. It's 8:30 on the East Coast. I think by that time he's walking out of the plane in Newark. And I looked at it, and then I'm like, how is that possible? And then the first thing I said when I sat down and watched like the whole clip was, I said to myself, who the fuck put a bunch of 5-foot women in his fucking security detail when he's fucking 6'2"? I did that for a living. I was, even though I was guarding items vital to national security, I had top secret clearance. I understand it's like there's a reason that Hamburger Hill is Hamburger Hill, because we needed at that point in time high ground. There's a reason why if you go to Fort Mackinac, it's tall, and you go into the stockades in the corner, and because you clear the brush around there. And so then they show me the schematic, and there's that where the shot came from, and I immediately said, oh, fuck, man, this is an inside job.
I didn't go crazy like that, but I wondered how. Don't you stand, knowing nothing about securing a president, wouldn't you stand at the podium spot?
Can't. He's got teleprompters there.
No, but before, I'm saying, when you're scoping the area out for security, wouldn't you stand and go, what can see me pretty clearly here?
No.
And you would have caught that building.
No. You would have fucking came in 3 to 4 days ahead of time.
That's what I mean.
You would
stand there.
You wouldn't, but you wouldn't even do that. You would just schematically know where he's going to stand. What do? You secure every high spot. Fucking whatever her name is, Kim Cheadle. We didn't put somebody on the roof because it was some kind of fucking like embankment or thinking.
It was on a.
What?
No.
And they had people in the fucking actual building, the glass and plastic manufacturing building. People were inside of it while this guy's on the roof.
And he was spotted. Also,
he was spotted by a guy that had
a uniform officer, right?
No, he was spotted by a guy with a fucking fucking visor on like an hour before the thing. It was just, and when you look at it and you look at the political ramifications of it, and he turns, and then you see that iconic picture it will be an iconic picture of him turning with the blood coming across his face and him raising his fist. And you say, okay, I'm now in the cabinet for Joe Biden. That's now my job. And they just tried to kill basically the guy that's running against you, that in the polls has got you beat. After the Thursday debate, Kevin Nash is just, fuck this. Unless this is the tortoise and the hare story you're trying to tell me. But my money's on the fucking hare right now. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh, fuck, man. And the biggest thing to me is, man, if somebody would have killed him, we would have been like, January 6th would have been fucking romper room compared to the shit that would have went down. Because everybody believes, especially that is in his camp, believes that the fucking federal government has been after him.
Well,
and
you don't believe that this was the government trying to kill Trump, right?
No, I don't think it was the government. But if I'm in a room with Biden and I'm part of his cabinet, I immediately, as soon as I see where the shooter was, I don't give a fuck if they haven't got an ID on him yet. As soon as I see the schematic, I fucking relieve fucking Cottrell. I relieve the fucking head of the Secret Service. I relieve her of her duty pending an investigation, because that's fucking unacceptable.
Absolutely. No, I agree with you there. But what tends to happen is the crazies come out, and then it goes to the next level. It was definitely a breakdown.
Okay, but that's the whole thing. You've got guys and friends of mine that are Republicans that are fucking brilliant fucking guys, not fucking crack jobs or fucking wackos, and they're saying fucking that Biden's behind this. Okay, so you got to pick one. Either Biden is fucking weekend at Bernie's fucking dead, or he's the Manchurian candidate and he's fucking putting together covert fucking operations. You can't pick both. You can't pick the fact that he can't be listen to me, this is what we're going to do, and if you don't get it, just ask my Vice President Trump. He'll tell you. You can't pick both. He's either one or the other. So obviously, he's not capable of putting this thing together.
Nor would the government choose a 20-year-old kid to pull off their big master plot.
No, because number one is he was 138 yards away. Mm-hmm. Jesus, it's a fucking layup with a fucking AR. I'm talking with fucking metal sights you don't miss. And she's got to be gone, man. She's got to be. That's the only.
I think that'll happen, though.
Yeah, but Biden waits and fucking.
It's not up to him. It's like complaining to Ronald McDonald when you get a bit.
No. The narrative and the fucking and the optive is fucking. When you look at that, if he, instead of trying to call Trump and say, "Are you okay?" and do all this other shit, and that's getting reported back to you. See, I immediately watched Fox's coverage because I wanted to watch. So I watched an hour straight of Fox, and because they're gonna, if anybody's gonna be able to get this and spin it, and they didn't fucking, they were appalled, but I was appalled. It's just like nobody. I don't want to see fucking Joe. I don't want to see any human being, especially a fucking American, and especially somebody that's. I don't want to see anybody fucking get hurt. I don't watch those fucking Instagram things where fucking people fucking getting crashes, and I don't want to see people get hurt. I don't want to see their fucking death is horrendous. He's got that fucking young kid. He's got boys, man. He's got girls. He's got daughters. He's a dad. But you know me so well because I hate Trump. It's fuck you.
To your point, I think you will see. Now, who's in charge of, is it DHS, Homeland Security? Who's in charge of the Secret Service? Or is it, what department who would be responsible for going in and removing her and replacing her? In there.
I don't know if they're a separate entity. I don't know. I would think they would be under Treasury. They're definitely under the Treasury Department.
Okay.
Because the Secret Service does the counterfeiting and all that. So they're under the Treasury Department.
So I think you'll see her relieved. It was an egregious breakdown, not defensible at all, really.
I had a conversation today with a very good friend of mine, one of my best friends, and I won't just say that. I want to just say that he's known as the rattlesnake, and went over this scenario together back and forth, and he got hot and I got hot, and I don't mean this in any other way except the fucking way that I mean it. There are fucking times in our world and our society where you have to what's the word? Put it this. I'll just say it the way I told Steve. I put it the way I told Steve. There's a fucking reason that there's not a female in SEAL Team 6. It's because it's the diversity. We've got to be diverse. That's our society. That's one of the fucking things that the right has run with. This diversity thing where, you know what? If a female can make it at SEAL Team 6, she'll get in there. But they won't fucking, because of the bar is raised so high in that, like when you go in with Bin Laden, you're going in with your best. You're not really fucking worried about somebody saying, wow, there weren't any females in that crew.
Don't you think, though, that if you're talking about the Secret Service, right, if a woman joins, women have been allowed to be in the Secret Service since 1971 and have. You don't put any male or female, anyone who, if the guy you're protecting is, what's Trump, 6'3", 6'2"?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you don't put anybody.
You don't put me on that stage either.
And I'm just like
at 5'9".
And on top of all that, they show the clip, and the one female officer, she can't fucking even holster a fucking weapon. It's like she's so fucking panicked out of her fucking mind. I'm just like, fuck, man, this is probably going to be our next president. And you motherfuckers are making sure that you're diverse. And as they take Trump off the ground, they're fucking putting their hand, like, oh, yeah, because everybody knows that fucking if there's a second shooter and they actually have a full metal jacket, that fucking hand that she puts up as she on her tiptoes, that's going to fucking block around. Jesus, it's like, fuck, okay, everybody out there, G.I. Jane, Demi Moore, movie, didn't happen. She didn't make the SEALs.
Right, okay, well, listen. Diversity as a concept, not what it's become, not the bastardization of the concept, but the concept itself. Could you not have? You're talking about this one specific woman that you saw trying to holster the gun, and she was shorter, and couldn't she serve, but just not on the stage detail? Couldn't she be
absolutely
in the bleachers with binoculars? So you could still have your hiring practices, but it's the assignment.
I guarantee you, if she was put in a position where she was in charge of making sure that there wasn't anybody that could shoot the president, you can't have, if she's not in the right position.
Right.
Who's to say that she's not the best marksman
who
with the rifle of all
right.
of them, and you needed her up there next to the, like, she should be taken. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's fucking evident that they should, and all three of those women looked overweight to me. and the dudes didn't.
Isn't that better to absorb the bullet? Maybe you can cover the width, but maybe not the height.
No, it's just like when you think of a Secret Service guy, you think about the guy that fucking the minute fucking Hinckley got a round or two off, man, he just turned and fucking basically just in front of Reagan like this, like fuck, it, you know. That's you want that. You want some beasts, man. It's just I was just so disappointed in that.
You're going to have an investigation. You're going to have. I think you're going to see Kim Cheadle removed, probably. But I don't know that gender as a whole is where you go with it. I know a big part of the right is running with that.
I'm not saying it. I'm just saying that there are positions in this world. There's not a female offensive in the NFL.
There's a WNBA and an NBA. I totally get that. But they should all be able to play basketball. And maybe if she was a marksman, maybe you assign her to the bleachers with the binoculars.
If it's Nancy Pelosi, maybe that she'd be a good side. I don't know how little Pelosi is. Maybe she's good for that.
Oh, guarding Pelosi because of the height. Yeah.
I'm just saying, though, that it's just the optic of that it just reeked of. And then the other thing I look at, because everybody is now almost got a hard drive out of conspiracy theory. This is a 20-year-old shooter that's never voted. Voted for president. He was 16. He has basically zero fucking social fucking media imprint to the point of when I heard that, this is before they got into his phone and he had pictures of Biden, he had Trump, I think he had the dude from the FBI, he had some things in his phone but I immediately thought that the kid was I was waiting for them to say he was a foster kid and he'd been in the system, and I was going to be like, is this kid Russian? Is this a Russian operative? That was where my mind went, because what more could you imagine going in on Monday to the fucking Republican, going into Milwaukee with Trump out?
I know what you're saying, that it would have been a desirable thing for them, but my mind doesn't go there. You know why? Because there are so many poorly cared for mental health cases, people in this country with access to weapons at home, legally purchased. That's where I go automatically. I go to the loner theory. I go to the Columbine. The Columbine model is where I go first. Didn't know he would be that young. That's a little young.
That was two guys.
Columbine.
Yeah, it was two shooters.
But I'm saying that model, the forgotten, the outcast, the cast aside.
And then when it came down to it, though, even now, there was the first one where 2 or 3 people said, yeah, he was bullied, he was this, he was that. And then the majority of people were like, no, he wasn't bullied. He was an outcast. He wore hunting clothes a lot of the time, but he was very smart.
No, it's not a matter of intelligence.
I just that whole thing, man. I feel like I'm in a Dali painting half the time because everything is just so surreal. It's